My name is Anthony Tone Show Nunez, and today I'm talking about what the hell happened to Fear the Walking Dead. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I've been quarantined. I'm in New York City, just like everybody else. I'm isolated. I've been catching up on my shows, taking this as an opportunity to give you back something, right? That's just the tone show. I'm always so giving. Make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment. We gotta do the maintenance. Let's get it out of the way. So Fear the Walking Dead, right? I've been catching up on it. I've been on Hulu. And I'm just realizing, like, what the hell happened to this show? It just seems like it's pitfall after pitfall. This video will have a lot of spoilers. It will, not specific spoilers. Yeah, it'll have spoilers. So if you haven't seen Fear the Walking Dead all the way through and ready to catch the next season, which is not in production, that this is not for you. I'm gonna rant. I'm gonna get into a rant. I'm gonna say some things that ruin some shows. Now, a rant is very cathartic, right? It's just great for the soul. So I'm gonna rant about what the hell happened to Fear the Walking Dead. I'm gonna touch on some points of what probably caused it to be so damn bad at this point. But let's get into it, right? Philip DeFranco. So first off, you gotta admit that Fear the Walking Dead was always hobbled by the fact that it was not The Walking Dead. What that means is The Walking Dead set up such a high plateau of quality when it started that it was very hard for a different show based on the universes of The Walking Dead to get a good foothold. And the reason for this being, I've been reading The Walking Dead comics way before the show. I was always a big fan of the comics. The writing in the comics is great. And the show itself, The Walking Dead, had the basis, had all these plots, all these narratives already set up, and all they did was cherry pick what they wanted to take, and they switched up things a little bit, but The Walking Dead basically followed the structure of the comic book. Now, Fear the Walking Dead had to start its own thing, its own setup, completely original, based on the Walking Dead universe, but its own characters. And I feel from the beginning they were kind of hobbled because they didn't have the strong writing and already established characters to base it on like The Walking Dead did. So from the beginning, I wasn't a big fan of the show, right? Especially the cast. I wasn't a really big fan of Madison. I wasn't a big fan of Nick, and I really couldn't get behind their characters at all. And when they left and a couple seasons ago, I was like, good. Now we got all the deadwood out, and not the actors, but the characters. I feel like those characters never really made any sense to me. And now that we got all the dead wood out, I was like, we can actually get to what the show's about, which is the dead, right? But it never got to that. This show has been hobbled by creative changes. And what I mean is that they've been trying to level off the characters. You have a character like Daniel and Victor who had enough survivor instinct, I would say, to survive in this apocalypse. And what they've done is they calibrated these characters to a point that they don't look anything like the characters they were at the beginning. And the same thing can be said about Alicia. Alicia finally got to the point where she's like Wolverine. She was just taking everybody out. I loved Alicia where her character went after Nick died. And slowly but surely, they've been taking that away. It's like every character that becomes lethal or becomes a survivor, somebody's like, yo, this lady's like the next Carol right now, right? They take them out. So when Madison became Rick Light, they took her out. And now that Alicia's developed this tough personality, the survivor instinct, they've taken her character and they've hobbled her so where she doesn't want to kill. And it looks like every character they get, they just make them more passive. They got all the same character. They have such a large cast, a great talent pool to pull from, a lot of great actors on this show. The show, I don't think, suffers because of the actors. It suffers because of lack of plot and lack of narration and lack of motivation, right? The characters really have no motivation. On The Walking Dead, they're trying to bring back civilization. On Fear the Walking Dead, they're trying to help people. Yeah, crickets, right? The best you can come up with, you're helping people. This is the big plan for the season. We're helping people. It's kind of crazy, right? So you brought Morgan over from The Walking Dead at the point that he's basically a pacifist. You brought Dwight from The Walking Dead, made him as a pacifist. And then you have Daniel who's become a pacifist, and Victor who's turned good, and Alicia who you're taking all the edge off. So basically, you have 5 of the same characters. And that's the problem with this show. Everybody is bland. They just basically bland everybody out. And when I talk about bland, the villains are so bland on this show. The villains are super bland and super lame. Come on. The villains on this show make no damn sense. They do not stand up to the governor. They do not stand up to Negan. They do not stand up to Alpha. alpha. They're just a wash, right? They don't have a really good villain either. So you don't have a really strong plot, no narration taking you to a certain point. There's nothing they have to really get to. They're just basically wandering. Then you don't have any real villain, no real strong villain that you can actually stand your characters up against so they can rise to their level. There's none of that. There's no Negans in this show. Even there's no alpha level villains. There's no interesting characters as far as villains. And it also hobbles the show. So you got all your characters, which are all pacifists now. We're all trying to help people, right? We got that, which basically leaves them all bland. And then you have a villain that's also bland. So basically, you have nowhere to go with this show. It's just like they just keep smashing into each other, and it's been renewed for another season. So it makes you ask, who the hell is watching this? I'm watching this, and I'm just complaining. So I know you probably complaining. So those are problems that this show has: lack of narration, lack of decent positive villains, lack of killing and survivor instinct from all their characters, which they made basically the same character. They hobble them off. There's a huge cast, and they all basically follow the same belief now. And on top of that, your very big motive that they're all getting behind is helping people. So it's basically like the Fear of the Walking Dead is just basically a crap show at this point. I'm gonna watch the next season because I gotta see how bad this gets. How more bad? How can you write characters that are not gonna kill and have managed basically survival to this point by killing? So I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen with that. So anyway, rant over. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Fear the Walking Dead has basically become crap because of all these points? Do you think the show still can be redeemed? I think it might be redeemed if they got a decent villain and somewhere to go. So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Fear the Walking Dead. Let me know what's up with you. Put it in the comments. As always, guys, this is the Tone Show. Tone Show. Ah. Woo.